I gotta make sure that I'm looking in the right direction. Wonderful. Okay. Oh no, that might be me. I don't know.
Maybe not,
Okay, no, it's
because when I talk, it's feedback, and I got on these, but this was to my laptop, not to my
okay.
phone. I'm on my phone too.
Okay. Okay. No, it's good. Okay, it's good. It's good now. All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome everybody to, and we're excited about this. This is the Coach's Corner with Coach Cotton. Yes, Coach Hadassah, that's me. And listen, I was so excited that I wasn't supposed to say what I just said. Because yes, Hollywood was supposed to say what I just said. So let me shut up. Yes. So yeah, it's us right now. I'm watching. So you see me, yeah, you're gonna see me, look over to the side. And I mean, and that's just the Zoom. Okay, that's just the Zoom because we're streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on YouTube. Like are we on Anchor? I think we're on Anchor, in which that's going out to like whatever Anchor platforms, right? And so as long as as long as everything is working, then that's where you'll hear us at. But this is day one, right? This is day one. We are here, and as you see, it's scrolling across the bottom on the stream here. You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time and 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Although we're going to end a little bit early, than that ending time that I just gave, because we want to welcome you all to our common unity. So say like for today, by it being Monday, right? On Monday and Wednesdays, we have an Extreme FX Young Guns program. So, we're going to tell you all about that towards the end of the Coach's Corner. Okay. Because look, the community that we have over here is awesome. So we're going to be telling you all about it throughout this entire Coach's Corner, just a little bit here and a little bit there, give y'all some little nuggets. But for the most part, the Coach's Corner is just really about helping you all, right? Helping you, because here's the thing. There's many people, business owners, entrepreneurs. You may be an employee, you may be self-employed. And here's the thing about it. Towards the end of your work day, because listen, I went to work with my husband today. First of all, I want to say, especially since the shutdown, he's been working at home, right? He's been working from home. So, you know, um, working from home seemed like, and this is just my take because I have a home-based business, but working from home and a home-based business are two totally different things. It is. Like a home-based business is your business, but it's just you, your home is your principal place of operations for your business. So you're free to move around. You're free to, do things that you need to do. So say for instance, hey, like I have all these children around here. I got 7 of them. Okay. And so 5 are still here at home. Well, especially when they were younger, and we're celebrating a birthday today of my 19-year-old. He is 19 today. So like, yeah, happy birthday to him, right? And as teenagers, Yes, happy B-Day. And here's the thing about that is that, to the teenage ages, and I know a lot of parents go through this, especially when it's like the first one, and that first one becomes a teenager, and they're looking like, oh, they don't want to spend time with me no more. They don't need me no more, or and all of that. But when you have as many as I have, then it's just like, hey, that's what they do. That's what they go through. Teenage, they don't want nothing to do with me. What, and you just ask them, is there anything that you want to do? You want to do something with the family or not? Because they're their own identity, right? They want to have fun with their friends and stuff like that. And a little, hey, happy birthday celebration with a cake and some ice cream or whatever they want to do. But it's about what they want to do, right? Whatever they want to do, then we'll get that done. But when they were younger, and we're like I'm working from home and stuff like that. If they had doctor's appointments or whatever, well, my schedule was flexible, so I could work my business later and take them to the doctor.
Right.
Okay, fine, right? Well, sometimes I might have a conference call while I'm at the doctor with them. That's happened. I've done an actual presentation while rushing a child to the emergency room.
Wow.
Baby, I done did it all. It's just about, right? Just about. Right. Multitask.
Yes.
Right? That's what you have to do. So multitask. But the thing about it is having a business and it's yours, you are flexible. You can flex it. Well, when you're working from home or working for somebody else or whatever, you don't have a flexible schedule. If it's 9 to 5, it's 9 to 5. If it's 9 to 3, it's 9 to 3. If it whatever those hours are, and you can't do nothing else about it. So although my husband was in the home working, right? He not self-employed, not working for himself or whatever. And so, baby, look, it was some days that I wanted to have a couple of words with and I can't even say it wasn't their business, but I mean, that person that's in charge or whatever. I wanted to have a choice couple of words with the person because I'm like, listen, you making my house. It don't feel peaceful in here because his energy is thrown off. That's throwing off the energy of the house, all because you trying to be, I don't know, taskmaster. So what it is, how they do. And so I'm saying all that to say, like, we understand when you have those stresses and things like that in your workday because of, some boss telling you. I mean, and there's some good bosses out there. Like, don't get me wrong, there are plenty, but then there are also plenty of them that are just, gosh, it makes you want to walk up out of there. You don't feel like doing all of that, and so end of your workday, you just like, right? So on your commute home from that workday, as coaches, this is what we're here, right? This is why we made this show, to just help you unwind from your workday. Or look, you may be looking for a way out of there. Like, if I had another way, I would leave that place. Guess what? That's what we're here for, because we can help you with the strategic way of doing things. Because we're not into just quit your job. No, you better have a plan.
Right.
Right? You just can't walk up out of there. Now, if it's just you, maybe, but but then you got to think about that too. But you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to have some support. You have to have, those things. You have to have a strategy. It's a thing. And we even use this in business. It's called an exit strategy. So you have to have an exit strategy. And no matter what it is you do, if you're employed, if you're self-employed, if you're a business owner, even as business owners, we have to have an exit strategy. because we're not going to be in the business forever. It is for us the business to run without us physically being there or doing things or whatever.
Right.
That's why systems are created, right? So I probably said a whole lot just in that, but tell me, Coach Cotton, because I know you deal with this as well. I know you have a lot of clients that, you see and that you're coaching through the various things that's going on with them. Tell me about that. Like, what do you see, with that, and then helping the people of what, from where they are and moving to the next place.
Right. Yeah, I'm 100% agreement with you. I've been in situations where, I had to just stop because there's so much going on around you. You can't even really focus. Like when you're talking about coming still in peace, it just disrupts everything in the house. I don't know if it could be me, you guys, that background, that feedback, but it'll disrupt everything around you in your household. And see, I relate from the individual standpoint, the single standpoint. So when I decided to, in anything, if we don't have a plan and we're not really making sure that what we want to do is conducive to the lifestyle, to the season that we're in, you don't need to be doing it. And so what I found out a lot, I don't know if I can't even tell. It's so many. Look, I got 100 devices going on over here. It's like a whole studio production.
Right.
On.
Oh, and look, just real quick, Linda Joe White, Lady Linda is in the building. Just Linda so that Joe. You know.
Yes, we can, Buttercup.
Yes.
Are you guys getting feedback?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I have to disconnect. Hold on here.
Or maybe, I don't know, because like sometimes when I mute mine, or when Coach Hadassah's talking, it'll take away that feedback. Oh, did she disconnect? Did she drop off?
Oh, she dropped off.
Oh no, Linda Joe, come back.
Yeah, she might come back, but she just dropped off.
Yeah. But like I was saying, Coach Hadassah, so yeah, I've experienced it from the individual standpoint when things just not seem to be working out and you just get so overwhelmed with what you need to be doing, what you're focused on. Hey, Linda Joe.
Oh, man, yes, Buttercup, you sound even better now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had the Bluetooth connected in the car. We're heading back from Chicago, so we're still a couple hundred miles from home. Or 100, I don't know. But anyway, first right here. How's y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing great. Doing great. Hey, what's happening, man? What's going on? You got it, buddy. You got it. But like how we were saying, Coach Dawson was talking, Coach Cotton was talking, explaining to everybody what this platform is all about. And what it means to you guys is coaching. Where third of the time, I understand, we're gonna let the ladies take over every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then we're gonna have
Yes, I'm here, but I'm barely, y'all. I can barely even hear Linda Joe when she's talking. Can you guys hear me clearly? You can hear me clearly. I just can't hear you guys clearly because Nigel, you sound like you are standing near the equator and in a sandstorm. It's so. Let me try to do some troubleshooting. I'm like, I want to hear what's going on.
In the sandstorm. interrupt.
Right. And I cannot hear anything. So you guys, let me do some troubleshooting. I'm going to try to rectify the sound issue on my end. Hold on one second. Go ahead, Coach Hadassah, while I do this so it won't be any like silence, because I'm just going to try to fix this. I don't know which apparatus is coming from. I'm going to figure it out though.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna see. And I was thinking it might have been on my end, but as I'm talking, I'm not hearing the feedback. Yeah, because okay, yeah, because at first when I was talking, I was hearing the feedback, and then I thought about it. And I said, "Ooh, maybe it's my," I'm like, maybe it's my device, because I got my iPad over here with the Zoom going on, and then I have the my mic with the stream. So I thought maybe that was it, but I don't hear that. But anyway, so yeah, again, that's what this whole thing is about, because here's the thing about coaches, and trust me when I say, oh my, it's something else, because we have a lot of coaches springing up, right? Everybody's a coach, coach this, coach that, and we have life coaches and just a lot of life coaches, health and wellness coaches, and all kinds of coaches and business coaches, and so it's you got to be careful, because there's many people that can throw coach in front of their name, because it's not like it's a regulated industry at this particular point. Okay, so I hear a lot of talk about oh, here comes somebody else is calling themselves a coach. Yeah, that type of thing. And it's like, well, it's just show me the people who are walking around with their actual credentials in their pocket. Well, me, I'm one. I do. I mean, because when we have them, you got your degree, your diploma, your license, or whatever, and you have them framed. But then you also can have a little card to use at various places for things, like as a licensed massage therapist, because I'm a licensed clinical massage therapist, and I have my whatchamacallit, but then I also have my card. And I'm using that in certain places for going to buy supplies and things like that. As a licensed massage therapist, I need to show that card to show that that's what I am. A certified health and wellness coach that has, the personal development, life coaching, all of that, the actual certification, like, yes, I have that card. In order, because if you have to take it out to use it for whatever purposes, then it's there. I'm that person that does believe in, okay, you might have the talent and the experience of actually doing it. However, you also need to have the skill set and the training, right? So then that differentiates the differences between somebody putting just coach in front of their name and have some experiences and saying, hey, I can coach you through this, that, this, that, and the other. And then those that have went on to get that skill set to hone the coaching that they do, hone the skill set, right, of the coaching that they do. And so, okay, now I'm hearing the feedback again. I don't know about it. But, okay, now I'm not hearing it. So, when I hear people say that, it's like, I get it, because we do have like coaches are springing up everywhere. However, what is the purpose of a coach? So the purpose of a coach is to do what? Help you get to the next level. Whatever it is that you're setting out to do, whatever that is. Okay, we have that coaching usually from sports, right? So you have that sports coach. That's the only coaches that we've had, or like, you know, with prenatal, when you're about to have a baby and you have to have that Lamaze coach to coach through. Now think about it, you having a whole baby, and trust me when I say you do need that Lamaze class and all of that, because you're about to go through a painful experience, giving birth to a whole human being. And you got the classes and everything, and it's safe. But when I say, by the time you get ready to use those breathing techniques and all of that kind of stuff, you about lose focus, because can't nobody describe the kind of pain that entails. You know, labor pains in your back. Woo, them the worst. Labor pains in your back, in the front, in the side, labor pains on your head. I mean, just your whole body is a whole labor pain. Sister over here laughing. but that's just what it is. And you still have to have someone, usually, you know, your husband or a significant other these days, or somebody that will help you to stay focused and remember those techniques to help you push through, because everything that you learned in Lamaze class, you gonna forget all about it when it's time for you to push a whole human being from your body. So you got to have somebody on the side that's like, okay, focus, like remember the breath, remember the things that and that's the coach, right? That's what coaches do. That's what it is that we do. You want to get off of the job, right? Let's say that you want to get off of the job. Okay, but here's the thing about it. You need to have a plan, right? You need to have the strategy. You need to have all of that. Okay. So then you also need to have certain things to set, you know, as you're going through that. Here's the thing about it. You're about to move to a place called freedom that you never really experienced in your life, even though you thought you did. But you didn't. You don't even know what that's like, honestly. And so when you decide to do that, right, you make a decision to do that. And that word decision, it has that decision in it, which is like, it's a cutting away. When you like decision, incision, precision, there's a cutting away of something. So you cut out all other options in order for you to choose this thing or this path or whatever. And now we're moving forward with that. There are things that are going to come. There's trials and tribulations that's going to test to see if that's what you really truly want. And it's going to be just as painful as a woman going through labor and delivery. And just like she needed a coach, like I needed it with all these kids I had, right? You know, just like I needed it with every single one, because it's the same, but it's different experiences. But it's the same pain. You're going to experience pain. You're going to experience these trials and tribulations. You're going to experience these points where you like, oh my gosh, I'd rather go back. But go back to what? Go back to what? Right? So with that, you need a coach. You need someone that's going to help you to remember, right? It's like the pushing, or not the pushing, but the breathing and the focus. It's like, stay focused, because you almost there. Stay focused. Okay, breathe. Now this and that, because you're going to feel the pain. We're not like Coach Cotton. Like, she can't feel your pain, although she's felt the pain from moving forward herself, right? I felt the pain of moving forward myself to, you know, having my own business, going from, well, I've always been self-employed, but with self-employment, it's harder than employment. right? Self-employment is harder than employment. It's like, at least with employment, listen, you don't have to figure the stuff out. It's all, look, the job is already laid out for you and all of these things. You just got to go in there and do what this specific job is, and then you go home and, you know, whatever. Yeah, you're going to complain about the boss and then the other people and all of this and what they doing, what they not doing. You're going to do all of that. But you got a paycheck, you got benefits, you got that. But you're dealing with some things and feeling like you're trapped or, you know, whatever. You don't have this freedom that you really want to have. Okay. So then you move from that to like a self-employed or business. Baby, that's a different thing. And it's painful because you remember, it's like the children of Israel. Oh, it was better for us back there with Pharaoh. At least that. What are you talking about, though? Right? At least you had. They was killing y'all. What do you mean? At least you had. At least we had food, clothing, and shelter. Right? But when you do decide and you're moving forward, you cut out that option. You can't look back. So you can't do nothing but move forward. But you can't move forward alone and by yourself. Because just like out there with the children of Israel, you'll die in the wilderness. You'll die. That's it. Your dreams will die. The vision, the prophetic vision that you were given for whatever you were called and chosen to do, you know, whatever business that you were called and chosen to because other people need it, right? They need what you have. They need it. It's not just for you. It's for, number one, your family, in order to leave an inheritance and a legacy. So that involves other people so that they could be free. And then it involves the people that need to work with you, right? So he done gave them the vision that's tied to yours. Then for the people that you're supposed to serve, whether it's a product, service, or both. And if you don't have a coach in order to help you to keep going through the process of having that thing come to manifestation or that birth of it, it's like a baby. The baby dies before it's even born. Like you've aborted it. Right? You've aborted it. Or it was stillborn. Or, you know, just use those analogies. You need a coach to help you through. You need a coach to, you know, it's like say, as a woman that's, you know, with child and going through and everything, there's certain things that you have to eat. You're not just eating for you no more. You just can't eat junk and stuff like that. You're nourishing yourself and the baby. That vision, you're nourishing yourself and that vision. What you putting in your mind? What are you putting in your ears, your eye gates, your ear gates, all of those things to keep yourself focused on what that is? What are you feeding yourself when it comes to, you know, nurturing that vision in order for it to be birthed later on down the line? What are you doing? Right? Then that's when like the nutritionists and stuff come in. That's what a coach is. That's what a coach is. Look, what else? I mean, there's so many things that I could use as far as that analogy with like giving birth, but that's really and truly what this is. And it can be painful. It can be brutal. You have to watch yourself. You have to watch your emotions, all of those things, because all of that goes in just like with a baby. A woman's emotional state while she's carrying, while she's pregnant, okay, that affects the baby. What she's eating, it affects the baby. What she's doing, look, if she's smoking, that affects the baby. You know, all of these things. So just like with the vision that you were given for, you know, a business and like, remember we talked about that breaking the generational curses in order to break into generational blessings, to leave a legacy. right? You need a coach. And that's what we're here for. Yes.
I'm going to come off of mute and
I'm going to mute myself.
You might hear the feedback. But yeah, just to add on to what you were just saying, is it still feedback? It's Lord have mercy. I think it's the phone and the laptop being in close proximity. So I don't know. I'm trying to move it a little bit. But anyway, so with another aspect of coaching and the whole point of it is to help. This is actually better to look. I get some sunlight. Y'all know that melanin is popping, so I picked up some light when I moved the phone. But you guys, a coach definitely just comes to insist in a personal transformation. So as Coach Adolph was giving the analogy or metaphor of one. It's just to help you move from that one place to the next place. When you talk about dreams, aspirations, goals, or next level, you need someone, because sometimes I will even admit to myself, there was a time I wasn't like self-motivated. There was a time where I just didn't know. And I felt, guilty, and I felt ashamed about not knowing or knowing how to get to the next step, because guess what? I had never been there before. I coached before. Let's take the profession. I was coaching, but that was just something of ministry. It was not the skill of coaching or learning the ability. I would just know how to communicate effectively. I knew that I could offer some help and support to people, but never knew that this was coaching. It was a profession. And so what we got to understand is when you're needing support, when you're needing help, or you're trying to move forward and progress to the next level, to birth this baby, or to go through this labor and delivery, because that's the whole point. You want to get to the delivery stages. You go through those 10 months. Now, I don't have a kid, but I done birthed a lot of ministries in my life. So I definitely understand it, but I have not went through that whole thing that Coach Adolph just described. I want kids so bad, and then she just made me really rethink it. After she went through all she said she had pains in her head and her back and so I was like, ooh, I don't know if this picture is really the picture that I want, that I want in my mind as the one who has not yet experienced the live childbirth, because she painted a real picture. So I know you single women who are right now who haven't had kids, Coach Adolph is not the one to take us through this whole process. We like, never mind. If it's like that, if I'm hurting all over my body, I don't think I want to do it.
Wait, listen, let me tell you. This was so funny. Because with my daughter, she was pregnant with my granddaughter. And so, I'm like, hey, listen, I can't sugarcoat it for you. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful. All right, it's right. And so she was hold on. Oh, let me take myself off mute over there real quick. But yeah, and I was just like, I can't sugarcoat it for you. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna feel like this, like that. And I said, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to give you the reality of the situation. I know you watching TLC and the baby story and all of that, but they cutting out the part that you need to know the most. And so, oh, Mom, I don't want you to tell me. And you just, I was like, okay. And then I shut up. And then we in that delivery room, and she was, I can't do it no more. I'm like, hey, yes, you can. You ain't got no choice. I tried to tell you. So it's not a horror story, but I'm just telling you, it's gonna be painful.
Thank you so much. You just brought so much peace to all the single mothers that are aspiring to be mothers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that calmness that you just brought onto with that great depiction of labor and delivery and pregnancy. But absolutely, you guys, and even in your own individual selves, when you're again going to the next level and you need a coach to help you become unstuck. I like to use that word because we all get into a place of where we feel like we're in that mud, and it's just a little bit hard for us to get our footing, right?
So you have that coach who come along and say, these are the areas where I feel like I can support you in. These are the questions that, really, a lot of friends and clients of mine, they laugh at me because I say, well, they always say, what do you do? Well, I'm a personal development coach. Well, what does that mean? What do you do? And I tell them I give the very basic response, and I go, I just ask you a whole lot of questions to help you get yourself to the next place, right? So they laugh so hard because I'm like, I'm the homework queen. This is what I do. I can't literally do it for you, but I can give you the tools and the resources that you need to get to the next place, to get to the next level. What coaches do, we're responsible for, because there is a responsibility to us toward that client or toward, that business or whoever, whatever we're coaching or we're giving support to, is to provide the responsibility. And that responsibility is to hold that person, individual, family member, whoever it is, business, accountable, to strengthen their character, right? To mature them, to prepare them for what's to come. Because sometimes we can be so far in our minds that the reason why we can't progress forward is because we simply, again, we don't know how. Or it's a fear there. There's something that's hindering us. There's something that's stopping us. It's like a block. A blockage that you're saying, I want to do this and I have the desire to do this, but I just don't know how. And then we'll talk ourselves out of greatness. We'll talk ourselves out of the dream. We'll talk ourselves out of the goal, because once you get to that place of feeling like, I don't know where to go from here, and then you don't have anyone to turn to, that's where you will stay. Just like when Coach Dawson mentioned, the abortion or a stillborn child, because now that dream has just become dormant. It's just lying there, no one's doing anything about it. So the coach will come along and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. This is how we help you grow. This is how we get this healthy baby. This is how we birth this dream and this decision. Because decision has to be made. Decision is throughout the entire process of any dream, of any goal, of any vision. There has to be decision making. And there are going to be some hard decisions. There'll be some hard truths that you may have to just simply come to an understanding with yourself. And there's nobody else who can do anything about it. You may have to look at that man in the mirror and say, okay, this is what I have to do, and now I just have to go ahead and do it. But it takes a level of maturity, a responsibility, and I always say strength and character, because it takes something on the inside. We can't really deal with emotions so much. Just gonna flip that one of them in a road somewhere. I don't even know where it went. It just on flew and went down somewhere. But anyway, we can't deal with a lot of emotions. And like I like to tell people, emotions is one thing. And that's a real thing. Your energy, the way you feel, can change or offset your dream. And so I like to share with a lot of people to say, hey, don't rely so much on the emotions versus the character. You know the type of person that you are, right? So when we're talking about how I feel, I could be happy, I feel sad, I feel stressed, I feel this, I feel that. You got to understand how fickle.
Wavering that can be. I relate to like the stock market sometimes, or like our Forex trading industry platform. Guess what? Those are like feelings, because the market will fluctuate. It'll go up and down, highs and lows, right? Then it'll have what we call a resistance. We have a consolidation, and a plateau. That's how we as humans even operate. We can have highs, we can have lows, we can consolidate. Then we have a breakout moment, right? We have these epiphanies, and then we have these things where we feel we can do it, we can go. All these are feelings, but then once you begin to understand what the feelings are, and then how to replace the feelings with the strength and the character and the maturity and the responsibility and the accountability to say, hey, I don't want to just feel a certain way. I want to have joy in my life. So what do I need to do to get joy, right? So now the coach is coming to ask you that question. Okay, you feel happy, but you can feel happy in this minute, and then you can be unhappy in the next. So the coach will say, what about the joy? Do you want to be joyful, or do you want to be happy? So they'll ask that thought-provoking question. Well, I would prefer to be joyful. Why? Because joy is not wavering. Joy doesn't fluctuate. You have joy all the time. And guess why? Because our Heavenly Father already said, this joy that I give you, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. So it's not even coming from someone in the natural. It's a supernatural experience when you're dealing with character. You're dealing with the fruits of the Spirit, and not to get so spiritually deep, but you have to tap into that when you're talking about coaches and what coaches come to do and how coaches come to incite and uplift and empower to help you get from that place of stuck to unstuck, right? Or get you to your next level. So then you talk about peace. Well, when you're frustrated and you're stressed, again, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling agitated, right? From a circumstance or a situation, an individual. And so we go, I feel this way. Well, no, let's take it back to the root. Let's take it back to the character. Where's your peace? You don't want anyone to take your peace away. Your peace should be protected. Your hunger should be protected, right? So now you begin to replace the feeling with the character, and then you ask the right questions, or that coach will ask you the right questions. And what are those? So how can we do that? What caused you to stop? Who hindered you? What made you quit? You know what I'm saying? So now when you begin a deep dive into those questions, and now they are making you think a little bit harder, go a little bit deeper. Now you can assess the situation, but it all starts with you. It starts with that person, or it starts with the head, right? And then it trickles down. So if the family is in all pandemonium and chaotic, what is the head looking like? What is mom and dad looking like, right? Or if it's a single parent, what is dad looking like? Or what is mom looking like as an individual? What's happening in the mind? Now what's happening to the mental things? And I don't want to go so deep, Coach Adasa, so you can stop me at any point. But when we're talking about coaches, and especially by this being the coach's corner,
listen,
we
go,
just come
go there.
to,
Go
you
deep.
know, really give
That's
you
what
the
they
help.
need.
Absolutely. We come to, give people that help and to make them see the change. You want transformation, because how are you going to be a millionaire if you don't know how to get there? If you don't have the right connections, if you don't have the right skills, if you don't have the right resources and the right tools, you're not going to get there overnight. If someone doesn't come and tell you and say, hey, it's a process for you to be a millionaire. You can be a millionaire, but you got to go through this process. And if your feelings and emotions going to outweigh or overwhelm you during this process and set you back, you may not be a millionaire, because you're not willing to go through that process. You know what I'm saying? You're not willing to go through that quicksand or that mud or that rain, because it's going to take some of that. It's going to, like those labor pains that Coach Adasa so eloquently described to us. You're going to have those aches and pains. You're going to have, that those labor pains and those contractions and upset stomach, nausea, back, all these different things that comes along with childbirth and delivery. But what's most important, you want to reach delivery, meaning you want to see the manifestation of your dream. You want to see the vision come to fruition. You want to see it come to life. You want to bring it out the mind, from the paper, into the real world. This is the end goal. This is the big picture. Okay, Coach Adasa, go ahead. I'm gonna try to find my earpiece so that rolled up down on. I hope my dog don't get. Y'all know my dog just like to eat my stuff.
Listen, I want to say something too. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, I had to unmute on Zoom. But listen, let me tell you something, right? Yes, Sonia. Look. Here is the thing about that. I'm going to read. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post it here, because this is something that we need to be clear on as well, because many people do this. Sonia says, I love how you both have your own unique gifts regarding coaching, and so you can each help the same person on different areas of their needs. Yes. Right? Here's the beauty of that. And this is why Coach Cotton and I came together. I remember, and then I'm going to get into what I was really talking about. So don't let me forget about, because I was about to say something about being a millionaire, right? Us being millionaires. We're all millionaires. But listen, so remember, for me to get back there. um, Coach Cotton had reached out to me, and the thing is, I was thinking about reaching out to her. I was about, I had thought about it. I was like, man, we need to team up. And then she called me, and then and I answered the call, and she said, what do you think about teaming up? And I was like, let's do it. Right? It was just it. Let's do it. What you want to do, how you want to do it, right? And then Hollywood, he came, and maybe it was, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks or so later, and was like, hey, what do you all think about coming together, you know, you two, and doing like a coach's corner? And I'm like, we was already there, right? Let's do it. What does the scripture say? Where 2 or 3 are gathered. All right. And so it was 2 of us that was in agreement. Then the third came along, and I'm like, all right, so here we are. And we both said this. She showed, look, 4. That number 4 is very powerful, because 4 is the foundation number, right? I mean, think about things that stand. They usually are standing on 4 corners, right? Right? You build from 4. So yes, look, I call it Lady Linda. Lady Linda came along, and we was just like, you know what? Yes, ma'am. You know, yes, ma'am, we are doing this. But the beauty of it is that, listen, we're both coaches, right? And just like Sonia said, we both have our own unique gifts and our own unique styles. So we didn't feel like we were in competition with one another, to where it's like, oh, you know, well, no, I wouldn't really want to work with her or whatever, because she's a coach and I'm a coach. And then that way we wouldn't have, no. Now, competition, okay? Here's the thing about competition or competing. You're really competing against yourself. Like who I was yesterday, okay? Okay, I was a decent person yesterday, but I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And then I want to be better tomorrow than I am today, right? And so I know I'm better than I was just last year, 2-3 years ago, definitely 12 years ago, right? It's like, I am not that person. I'm not the person. And I hope that we're all not. And if we are, and you're not dead, something's wrong. Like, where are you? Where, what's happening, right? Like what's stunting your growth, right? And so I don't feel like, and she doesn't feel like, and we don't feel like we're here competing at all. Because just say, for instance, if someone reached out to Coach Cotton for like, hey, you know, I need a one-on-one, I need a coach, and they reached out to her. Well, that is because they were supposed to reach out to Coach Cotton, right? It was something that they felt with her energy and her spirit and her skill set or whatever, that she is the perfect coach for them. It wouldn't be me. Now, do I feel like, I feel some type of way? No, because I want that person to be helped. You see what I'm saying? It's about the person getting what they need, not necessarily it's not about me, right? It's not about Coach Cotton. It's not about any other coaches. It's about that individual, the help that they need in order to move forward, and who would be the best person for them to get them to the next level, and vice versa, right? Same thing. So it's beautiful that, especially in our community, you know, in our, what we call our common unity with Extreme FX, because that's how we met. That's how we connected. We're not over here competing with one another, right? Although we have, you know, we're all in this business. We're learning the skill set. You know, we want to share this opportunity with as many people as we can reach, right? We're building a team. We're building an organization. Are we competing against each other doing that? No, because there will be people that resonate with me. There will be people that resonate with Coach Cotton. There will be people that resonate with all of the other leaders that we have over here in our community, and it would be the best fit for that person, period. That's what it's all about. So that's what I love about this. That's what I love about our community. And that's what I love about that wealthy mindset. That's a mindset of wealth. That's what that is. That's a mindset of wealth, knowing that, hey, it's enough for all of us. It's 7 billion people on the earth. Period. Right? So then how about this being this millionaire? Okay. Coach Cavendish talked about that. Like when you going from employed or self-employed or, whatever. And what your hourly wage or salary or something like that, it has a cap on it. But you want to be a millionaire. Let's do some math. We're about to do some math real quick, right? Okay, so I'm pulling out my phone, and then I'm putting in 1 million, right? Okay, $1 million. Let me see if I can. Wait, where do I? Okay, 1 million. It's what I have on here. Okay, so now we're going to put in 40 years. Okay, 40 years. Because let's just say, hey, now that 40-year plan is gone. To be honest with you, it ended in the 70s. It ended in the 70s. So that plan doesn't even apply to us anymore. It just doesn't. So, Earl, can you call Mama Cheryl? Okay, cause she calling me, but I'm on the live, so just call her back. Mama Cheryl, we're gonna call you. That's my mother-in-law calling. Mama Cheryl, we're gonna call you, but I can't answer the phone right now. Okay, so 40 years. So we're gonna divide this 1 million by 40 years. What's that? That's $25,000 a year for 40 years. Okay. So we know that most people with, let's just say careers. Okay. Careers. On average, they make $50,000 a year or more. Just average 50 to 75,000, or maybe even 85,000, with the degree, right? With the degree, you make more than $25,000 a year. Now, 1 million divided by 40 is 25,000, but you possibly make 3 times this. So that means that within your working years, 40 years, even less than that, you done made $1 million. You've made $1 million. If you've worked, hold on, how about we do this math? So let's just say I'm gonna do 50. Let's see, $50,000 a year. If you've made $50,000 a year and you've worked for 20 years, you made $1 million. The scriptures say to sit down and count the cost. Did you count the cost? Most of us don't. When I was working in the salon, I was making cash, right? And so when you making cash money and it come to you fast like that, you don't even think that the well is going to run dry. Like, I'm not a drug dealer. I never have been, but I'm just saying that when you got the cash coming in like that, you don't think that it's going to run dry. I didn't think that it was going to run dry for me until I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. Right? And then when I actually sat down, because I had to budget, my income was sliced in half. So it's like, whew, okay, I gotta, right now I'm budgeting. Because I was praying and the Holy Spirit said to me, I want you to sit down and write out your budget, your expenses, no, your income that you have right now and your expenses. And I was married, of course. So then I did it. I did two. I did one with just my own income. And then I did it with me and my husband's income combined. Right. And I added everything. I'm like from our, you know, because did we have a mortgage? No, we were still renting at that time. We were still in an apartment. So I added the rent, the utilities. I think we had a car note, the car insurance, the groceries, entertainment, some little extra habits that we had, spending money on that. I mean, I included everything, going out to eat, everything. Okay, everything. And then with our income, and the Spirit said to me, if you have and look, saving money, all of that, I added it all, and then, you know, deducted it from the income. He said, listen, before you do this deduction, okay, of the expenses from your income, if you're in the negative, I have to provide a way for you all to earn more income. Said, but if not, then what you have to do is pay attention to what you got right now. When I did, now mind you, I said everything, and I'm talking about habits too. Okay. And after all of that, we still had a surplus of like $600 a month left over after every expense possible, including entertainment. And I went all out, and it was still $600 left. And so that let me know right there, like, we was wasting money. That was it. And then I started thinking about, it's like, but this is just with my income sliced in half. This is not even the income that I had prior to. So you mean to tell me with that income from before I was diagnosed and all of that, that would have been $2,600 left over after all of that. And I'm like, so a lot of times it's what we're doing. Now, I'm not sitting up here telling everybody to, well, don't do this and don't do this and don't do this and don't do that, because what I found is that, look, when you take something away from people, it makes them do it even more. You have to fill it with something, right? Like, transparency moment. When I used to smoke cigarettes, I smoked cigarettes, but I didn't want to smoke cigarettes because I had quit. I stopped, right? It was like, I stopped. I had a baby. And that's one thing about me. Like, when I found out I was pregnant, I ain't touching a cigarette no more. What, a cold turkey, just decision, boom, not doing it. So I had picked the habit back up again because of some stuff I was going through. I'm like, I'm gonna smoke this cigarette or I'm gonna kill somebody. So let me go ahead and smoke the cigarette. Anxiety, it was real bad. Right. And so I was smoking the cigarettes, and then it just got to a point where, I'm finding myself buying packs, and I'm like, I don't want to buy packs. This is not something that I want to do, but I know why I'm smoking the cigarette. So, I gotta curtail this. Let me do something else. So instead of trying to just stop cold turkey, what I did was, because I mean, you know, I'm in the cannabis industry, and I'm an Illinois registered cannabis caregiver. And just with the research and everything that I've done on that, I know the specific strain to use in order to, because the problem was anxiety. The problem wasn't cigarettes. That's just the result of the issue. The real underlying issue was anxiety because of PTSD. So I found the strain, I got that, and to replace. So it was a habit or a routine of going outside, going on my deck, sitting there praying, along with having a cup of tea and my cigarette. And so I did the same thing of going outside, having my tea, and sitting there and praying. But instead of the cigarette, I had the vape pen of the strain that I needed in order to heal the anxiety. And after about, I want to say maybe it was 3 weeks, possibly 3 to 6 weeks, but I'm leaning more towards 3 or 4. Let's say 4, about 4 weeks or so. Anxiety gone. Didn't want a cigarette. Wasn't even finished with the whole vape pen. And done, gone. So I'm saying all that to say, you just don't take things away, because that's not going to solve the issue. It's going to make it worse. You got to replace it, but replace it with something better. Replace it with something healthier, and replace it with something that, you know, will alleviate or whatever the situation. And many times when we're, you know, well, don't have that chai tea latte, and don't do this and don't do this and don't do this and don't do that in order to, you know, save money so that you can, because you cannot save your way to wealth. You cannot save your way to $1 million. You can't. But you can see how if you've worked 20 years at $50,000 a year, you've already made $1 million. You're a millionaire. If you work 40 years for $25,000 a year, you've made $1 million in 40 years. But the problem is we got taxes, right? That's our biggest expense. We have taxes, and it's taken out right before you even get your check. And then, so now you're living off of 70% of your check. And then that 70% is taxed as well, because, you know, okay, after you pay your rent and stuff, you're paying your utilities. Where if you read your bill, your utilities have taxes. And then you're going to buy food, that has taxes. You're going to buy, you know, your clothes and your household items, taxed. You're buying gas and you know, whatever, whenever you're spending your money, it's taxed. So you're taxed up front, and then that 70% is taxed as well. And so that's where your money is going. And then because we're living in this insane asylum of a system that we think is gonna work or help or whatever, now we have to escape through entertainment or whatever vices or whatever, and we're spending money on that. So we end up spending our wealth. Whereas if you did just take, you know, so when we say save, right? Let's say we say take 10% off the top or whatever. If you're going to save anything, it's not just to sit in a bank somewhere. It's more so to take that and invest it. Like that's a seed in order to invest, but then invest in what? Right? Invest in what? Okay, well, we have that opportunity where we teach you how to trade on a $7.3 trillion market. The banks do it. This is where, so if you take 10% of your $25,000 a year, right? What's 10% of the 25,000? So that's what, $2,500? Yeah, so $2,500 in that year. And you take that and you put it in the bank and you let that sit and you think you finna make some, you know, it's finna do something. Now, the banks, with your money sitting in that account, they're taking that and they're trading it along with a whole lot of other people's on the Forex market. And what type of interest are you're not even getting a good 1% at all. You might as well take that money yourself and learn the skill set of trading. And look, don't even have to have the whole $2,500. You can take a couple of $100 one time and follow the trading plan to compound it. And next thing you know, because what I remember, we did this exercise before where they compounded 1 cent. Have you ever seen that exercise, Coach Cotton, where they compounded 1 cent over 30 days and you had $1 million in 30 days with 1 penny, right? And the whole premise was, you know, I'd rather have what was it? 1%. I think it was something like 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. I think that was the whole, you know, like premise or whatever. But 1 penny compounded though over 30 days was $1 million. And so that's what we do in our community. Teach you the skill set, teach you how to do it. But then not only that, right now, we're teaching you how to push a button. Push a button, just like I'm having my push it party. Y'all invited, right? I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but it's push. The theme is push it, and it's Friday, so I'm gonna let y'all know what it's all about. But we're teaching you how to push a button, and then you can compound to where, you know, I'm not making any income claims or putting out there that, you know, hey, you're gonna take this 1 cent or what, but just showing them and how you can compound. But so that's just to say that millionaire status is really easy. It's easy. The hard part is undoing what we've been conditioned to do over all of this time, the miseducation that we've received, the habits that we've picked up along the way, these generational things that DNA, right? Like all of those things. That's the hard part. The easy part is compounding it because it's simple math. Math is facts, right? Math is facts. What they say, numbers don't lie, but people do. Numbers don't lie. The numbers is the numbers. I just showed y'all 40 years, $25,000. When your average person, a degreed person, work for 20 years and make 50,000 and already made $1 million. But we know many people that's made more than that. So the question is, where did it go? Right? So everybody's a millionaire. Question is, how you gonna get to it? So Coach Cotton, that's my spiel. I wanted to speak to that millionaire piece that you said.
Absolutely. I'm 100% agreeing with you. You know, coming from the accounting world, I was a finance administrator and accountant for multi-billion-dollar corporations. And when I tell you, the only truth that was ever told in the whole building was the number, was the sheet of paper. They had the bottom line on there. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is the numbers will not lie. So yes, Coach Hadassah, speaking of being a millionaire, when you have those dreams, you gotta put out all of that shoulda, woulda, coulda talk. Because you're just not gonna become a millionaire talking about what you wanna do and it's just all here. You know, you gotta do some applications of some things. And a lot of things, you gotta first get connected to people and go around those who are already wealthy. I've never seen, well, now I have, but back in the day when I had big dreams of being a 1%er, I didn't know anybody who was a 1%er. I wasn't connected to millionaires and 6-7-figure earners. I just knew that I wanted to be one, and there was going to be some type of way that it was going to get to me. The wealth was going to get to me, and I knew that. But there were some things that we had to start doing. Like I had to start doing. I had to now start connecting with these people. And fortunately for me, being in the accounting world and being a flight attendant, well, I traveled with the Department of Defense. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that, but I was a flight attendant for 4 years, and we only did international flights. So what God was showing me was, even at a younger age, not knowing why I'm doing all this stuff, just trying to make more money, because really that was the only purpose that I had in my mind when I was young, was I need more money than what I got right now today, because I can hardly survive. There's things that I want. So I'm like, how do I get it? Let me go add some income to what I got going on, right? So traveling internationally, I saw foreign currencies. Not thinking about no Forex, not thinking about no crypto, none of that. Not thinking about buying and selling and trading. Never on my mind. But God knew. He already had this plan. So he's showing me, okay, you're flying international. You know your US dollar is no good over here in Germany. You know your US dollar is no good in Kuwait. Your dollar is no good in Japan. Your US dollar is no good when I went to Singapore. So all these different things, all the different countries, I'm going, I'm converting. Okay, I'm starting to get it. So then I get to the accounting world. I'm working for these major corporations where me, the little small accounting girl, who, you know, I say the accounting world, the numbers don't lie. So if anybody gonna get blamed for anything, it's the accountant. What happened? Why is this wrong? It ain't all the 100 million people in the corporation who's spending the money the wrong way. It's you. Why you didn't figure this out? Why you didn't tell us that? We should stop spending, right? Or when you told us, why you didn't force us to take the cards away? We like, I'm just the accountant. I can't come take your black card from you. I can't take your company card. I told you to stop, right? So, but you didn't want to listen to me. You kept on swiping. So now you swiping, and now we all in the pickle, right? So we got to get ourselves out of the pickle. But now I'm calling all over the world, and I'm dealing with foreign currencies. I'm trading, I'm selling, I'm buying, converting, right? And so you don't even think about all these things when you're going through life. All thing I knew was, hey, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a 1%er. I knew that the 99% club wasn't my track or journey of choice. Didn't want to be a part of that popularity. I wanted to be separated. The Bible says, be ye separated. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I want to separate myself from all the people who was out here paycheck to paycheck, all the people who out here scavenging for these little dimes and dollars. Like, no, I need to rise above that, right? And so following the plan, and even at times not even knowing it, let me not sound like I'm so great. It might have made several mistakes along the way, but getting connected to the right people, seeing something different, wanting something different. And now the talk of, oh, I want to be is I must be. Because when you replace the want of something with a must or shall or will or am, it changes the entire vision. Because you can change what you want all day. Yesterday, I wanted hamburgers for dinner. Then 10 minutes later, I wanted tacos for dinner, right? So you can change, you know, what you want over and over again in a split second, a split decision. You can change what you want. But when you must do something, that's not easily changed. You can't just up and change your mind about that. That's a decision. That's something that you make and it sticks, right? That's something that you go on with and it's not going to be easily moved. It's not fickle. It's not one of those things where you can just say, hey, I must go do this. No, when you must something, when you have something, Coach, I may have lost you. Not sure. Your screen is black on StreamYard. But if you can hear me. Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I don't know if you got lost, it will lose me, but we're still on the Zoom, so that was cool. But your must, so when you must do something, you're not going to be emotional about it. You're not going to make an irrational decision. You're not going to be impulsive. You know that this has to be done. When you know you got to feed your kids, you're not going to just up and do anything. No, you're going to make a way by any means necessary to feed your children. When you have to get up and go to work on the job that you hate, Because if not, you're going to be evicted on the street. You're going to do what you got to do. You're going to go to their job, complain and murmur, but you're going to be there at 8 o'clock. Matter of fact, if you got to be there at 8, you're going to be there at 7:55 because you know you need that paycheck come Friday. These are the differences between what you want and you just thinking about some things you want to do versus what you must do or what is the actual plan and purpose of your life. That's what millionaire mindset is. This is a lifestyle change. It's a mentality change. It starts in your mind. It comes when you start to alleviate the excuses. You alleviate the can't. You alleviate and eliminate the like I said, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and the indecisiveness. And now you are moving toward a place where you're making solid decisions. You're making rational decisions. You're doing some research. You're getting connected. You're getting involved. You're participating. You're staying plugged in. Now you're being dialed into the right people and right connections. We go to training 6 days a week on this platform. Why? Because we got to stay connected to the right people. We got to have the right people in our ear. We got to see the right things. Again, how can you be a millionaire if you ain't never seen it? You don't even know no millionaire. And I'm not talking about people on TV. Yeah, we can see Oprah and Tyler Perry and all the athletes making millions and millions of dollars, but you don't know them. You know of them. It's time for you to know some people who are millionaires to be connected to. And on a platform like Extreme FX, we are connected to 6 and 7 figure earners. We are connected to people who have been doing business on a multi-level platform for years. VP of Sales and Marketing, Jacob Mickle, he's had over 30 years working in the banking industry. You cannot come and tell me that he doesn't know money. He doesn't know finances. He doesn't know sales. He does. Why? And he has a success that left the clue for me to say, you know what? This is a man I need to be connected to. This is a man that I want to follow. Why? Because now I see the success that's not just being talked about, but being performed and delivered to get to a millionaire status, to get to a place of helping someone else. It's not about the actual dollar. This is how we get confused. This is a mind game, a mind myth that I call it. This is a myth in your mind when you think that it's all about the money. Oh, you just want to be rich. No, wealthy and rich is totally different. We're not even talking about money. We're not talking about printed money. We're not talking about coins, fiat. We ain't talking about digital currency. We're talking about the mentality. We're talking about wisdom. We're talking about how do you manage wealth. We're not talking about being rich and going out, popping bottles and blowing it on fancy and luxurious things. No, we're talking about a total mental transformation. Once you start there, then your manifestation of your millionaire mindset will come to fruition or it be manifested because it has to start here. That's why the Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You can't go nowhere if your mind is not right, if you got stinking thinking. If you got stinking thinking, that's where you're going to stay. You're going to be there, right? So you got to have a wealthy mindset. That's why we say do what the wealthy do. We don't say do what the rich do. We don't do what the rich do. Because the rich can sometimes make very careless, negligent decisions, right? We do what the wealthy do because the wealthy invest. The wealthy watches their investments. The wealthy has assets, more assets than liability. The wealthy will live in an apartment before they go purchase a home because that's what they want to do. They don't want to add debt. They want to add an asset. They want to make it grow so when they do go to their home, guess what's running out of their home? Their business. Coach Doctor, you can touch on this because you are an expert in this area. They have a home business. So what happens now? They don't pay taxes like everybody else does. You know you want to be mad at our former president? Why? Because he was smart in his business. You upset because he had a little bit more wisdom and knowledge, right, than you had because you didn't pick up a book or you didn't read or you didn't research. Well, that's you. You got to take accountability for that because you didn't have that what? Mindset. You didn't have a millionaire mindset. Steve Jobs, he had a millionaire's mindset. What did he do? Networking. He got people to invest in his company. A simple computer. Now it's one of the largest. Everybody got an Apple iPhone. Most everybody got an iPhone in their hand, a Mac computer, right? Why? Because he had the idea. He took somebody and said, hey, bet on me, right? Take a chance on me. That person who's now also a millionaire did that, dropped him the $200 idea for him to now go out and develop it, and boom, millionaire, because he started to share with different people. He began to connect with the right people. He connected himself and put himself in places where wealthy people were. So you know what, Coach, I could go on this all day, and I don't want to take up the whole time. And I got to charge my phone up too, because this battery is like blinking at me. I got to go find a charger. But having a millionaire mindset starts here. It starts in the mind.
Look, Coach, you was coaching today. You was coaching today. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
Hey y'all, I'm here. Thanks, Hollywood. First time in the car. It's so late about that, right? And it's just exhausting. There's so much that's going through my head.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Nowhere. Oh boy. Right. They got the financial news on. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, love you so much, Linda Joe. Listen, Linda Joe just always bring it on home. Oh my gosh. First of all, okay. And I said this on my live earlier. So the name of my business and my LLC, my LLC is Supernatural Wellness LLC. I've had it for 10 years. My and the Holy Spirit gave me the name. It gave me the name, and it really started as a hair product. It started as a hair product because I had natural hair. I didn't have my locks at the time. I had a fro, and I was trying to make hair products and everything. So yeah, and so it was called Supernaturals. And then I started going more into health and wellness as because my mother was a health and, she's been a health and wellness coach for, I don't know, 30, 40, whatever years. And so, but when I was doing hair, I was always telling my clients about what they can do for their health in order to help their hair. It was just natural to me to do that. And so when I started researching certain products in order to put in my hair products, that led me to the more of the wellness end. And then as I'm like, what do I call this? What did I call this? What do I call this? And Holy Spirit says supernaturals. Supernaturals. So it's kind of that spin on, natural hair, and then super, because like above, and that was the tagline to transcend. What was it called? It was called trans. I forgot. I got the tagline. It said it's on some of my business cards or whatever somewhere. But then it just stepped up even a further notch, because as I started getting into, more health and wellness and clinical massage therapy and energy therapy and all of those things, EFT, all of that. And it just really came to the, dealing with debilitating conditions and diseases. Because when the body is diseased, it means that the body is not at ease, and it should be at ease, right? So that's why I say the word disease like that, dis-ease. And I'm like, okay, so what do I call this? I was going to kind of just bring it on to, okay, continue with my mother's legacy with her thing. And he said, no, yours is supernatural wellness, because you're dealing with the metaphysics, the above the physical, the supernatural. We're transcending. And I was like, okay, right. Now when you talked about that childbirth, like you're absolutely right. I had one child at home. I had a home birth with my son Eli, and I'm like, okay, now you want me to have this baby at home? What do I do? I don't know. That was the best birthing experience that I had. I did still have pain, of course, but I researched how you properly have a baby. And the women are in pain because they're laying down. You're fighting against gravity. Right? You're not supposed to be laying down. You're supposed to be up, walking around, everything that helps with the labor pains, where you're not experiencing them as hard. And then not only that, when you start to bear down, not push, because when you push, that's how you rip yourself. But when you just bear down and you squat, gravity is helping with the childbirth process, where the baby comes out. Like when we take a dump, let's say that, we're not even sitting properly, because we're not supposed to be sitting. We're supposed to be in a squatting position. So the same thing with having a baby. We're supposed to be in a squatting position. And so we're not in labor as long, and the baby can come out in the way that it's supposed to. So that home birth actually was my best birthing experience. So then another thing that Linda Jo pointed out that made me think about this dream that I was given in, I think it was 2019. I have it written down because I have a dream journal. And I was sitting on the bed, and I looked down, and there was a baby's head crowning. And the dream started out that way. And I looked down and I said, oh my gosh, the baby's head is crowning. And I put my hand down on the head and just guided the baby's head out of myself. I was delivering myself. I was delivering the baby myself. And so I guided the baby's head out. And once I got the head out, I started shifting to deliver the shoulders and the rest of the body. And my husband and my mother was kind of like on the other side of the room, and watching. But they were there, but they was just like on the other side of the room watching. And I delivered this very healthy, it was a girl though. It was a very healthy baby girl. Guess what? No pain. In that dream, there was no pain at all in this delivery. And when I woke up, and I remember the day I had that dream, it was June 6th is June 6th is a very significant date. June 6th. Right? Now, if I tell you what the significance of that date is, now I'm going to share this, and you have to do your own research in order for you to verify it to see, but that is the true date of the Savior's birthday. It is not December, because nothing that gives a life is born in the dead of the winter. June 6th. It's not. June 6th is the birth date of the Savior. That's the true date, June 6th. So when I had that dream on June 6th, I knew exactly what it meant. And it was supernatural. And it was birth and delivery. And there was no pain. So when you said everything that you said, Linda Jo, I'm just like, I mean, we just continue to confirm one another in this space. I mean, everybody, right? From Coach Cotton to myself, to you, to Hollywood, to Megan, to Reagan, to everybody says something to confirm. And we end up having these different experiences, like when Megan was talking about the timeline, right? And when you have it and you remember these significant dates and experiences and everything, when you put it together, it's like, oh my gosh, just like it was said, it's been said before. What you're looking for is looking for you. What you're seeking is seeking you. What you're praying for is praying for you. Right? Like no, go ahead. We're so excited. We're like, ooh. Yes. We complete one another. Yes. Oh my gosh. Look, I have to tell everybody on the live stream, Lady Linda Jo White said, when we stay in our lanes, right? When we're operating in the gifts and the purpose that he gave each and every one of us, we don't compete with one another. We complete one another. Lady Linda Jo, that's what she said, y'all. Remember that, right? We complete one another. And we have each other's back, and we confirm one another. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm just saying, when she said all of that, I'm like, is she in my house again? Right? Was she there 12, 15, 20 years ago? I mean, it's just awesome. And that's why I love our common unity so much. I love it. And it's like, you know, when you have, and look, and I pulled this up too, because when we're talking about like, you know, with that birthing, right? The birthing process and the coaches and all of that. And wasn't it, look, it was 2 women, Shifra and Pua, right? Was the midwives that, you know, when that death decree was out. And so they came to them talking about, hey, you know, when the Hebrew women, when you see them on their birthing stool, right? The birthing stool, that lets you know right there. What you sitting down, I mean, not sitting down, laying down. Yeah, it said when you see them on their birthing stool. So on the stool, you squatting, right? To give birth. So when you see these women on their birthing stool, and you know, about to give birth, they that was a mandate. They wanted them to kill those Hebrew babies, those Hebrew males. And those 2, you know, midwives, they was like, no, but they were their coaches. You know, shoot, we ain't finna do that. It's like we just gonna tell them that before we could even come to them some lively women. They went on and had them babies. We couldn't even get to them. They dropped them babies like they was hot. You know? And so look, that's what we're here for in our common unity as coaches, you know, and we're about to go ahead and wrap this up for today's coaching corner. And listen, we want to go ahead and invite you to the young guns, right? We have the young guns coming up because the young guns is on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, bring yourselves, of course, bring yourselves, bring your children, because our CFO, right? Our CFO and co-founder, Adrian Dynamite Sloan, listen, he spearheads the Extreme FX Young Guns. And GUNS is an acronym for Generation Under New Zeal. This program is for those that are ages 8 to 21, where we're doing the same thing. Not only are we teaching them how to trade on the Forex market, but we have a youth entrepreneurship program where we're teaching them about being entrepreneurs, okay? And then also the personal development, because here's the thing, like the scripture says, a fool and his money will soon part. And so, of course, we're not just teaching children how to have all of this money and then they just go out there and do something crazy with it. Like, no, with personal development, we're teaching them, first of all, cultivating them, right? Train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So we want to make sure that we're training up our children in that way, teaching them the skill set, teaching them financial literacy, them having the personal development so that they can be out here just like the many children that we have or the youth that we have in our community. Devin, 19 years old, right? $20,000 a month. Got his own place. Got 2 cars under his belt. Now, I don't even think he have a car note, right? He was smart enough to just purchase it so that he wouldn't have a car note. But then, you know, you got your car insurance and everything, but hey, paying his own bills, very mature young man, you know, emotionally mature. A lot of times it's us, the parents, that are holding our children back and stunting their emotional growth and their mental growth. And then we're wondering why our children are out here, they're frustrated, they're angry, and then they rebel. They don't want to listen to us because it's like, look, they see this new world. They have the cell phones. They're making money from, look, they using these cell phones to do some things. Let's just say that. They are using these cell phones to do some things and with information at your fingertips, right? Because they have it. Information at their fingertips. They might as well be learning this skill set and learning how, you know, like I say, make money with your smartphone. Make money with your smartphone. Use the smartphone to be smart enough to make money with it, right? Have it become your own ATM. And so when we're teaching them what they really need to know, what they really truly understand just within the fiber of their own being, and they're like, okay, now these adults know what they're talking about, right? They start to listen to us. That's when they start listening. But if you're trying to teach them a way that they see that you frustrated with, it's like, they like, I'm not trying to listen to you. That half of them don't even want to show up in school because they already know. They're like, y'all not teaching us what we really need to know. You trying to teach us how to go out here and get a job, and you don't even want to be here. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's why they don't show up. That is why they don't show up. And they don't show up because, you know, you got a lot of them out here. They, again, especially when they become teenagers, they want to be financially independent. And if we don't teach them a way, teach them a skill set that is legal and lawful, they will go out here and do some illegal and some unlawful, I mean, I say unlawful, illegal, unlawful, and immoral things. That's what they're going to do just because they need money. They need money and they just don't want to live averagely. And look, we don't either. But there is a way to do it where you don't have to go to jail, right? You don't have to ruin your reputation and you don't have to die. Period. Right? You don't have to lose your life, because that's what's happening to many of the youth. And then giving them that, widening their view, where they see, they have a world view to see that there's more to this world. There's more to it's like some of them haven't even been out of their neighborhoods. They haven't even seen anything different. And what it is that they already see in their minds. Do you know that with this smartphone, okay, with any and everything that you can connect to with this phone. Now, I use this for global purposes, right? Like, I've met people all across the doggone globe. This, millionaires, multimillionaires, wealthy people in other countries that's wealthy or want to be, or what, I mean, just all of that. But that's because I widen my view and my mindset, right? But then if their mindset and their view isn't widened, and it's just what's going on their block or in their specific little, community or whatever, guess what? That's what they're going to search up on their phones. So then they looking up, looking at stuff where, oh my gosh, I don't even want to tell you, fightings and shootings and killings and all of that on their phones. And it's like, do you know you could use this for a different purpose? But they can't go no further than their mind, right? And so that's what we're doing over here. We're broadening their view. We're teaching them how to trade on the Forex market. We're developing their mind. We're developing that, with our personal development and all of that. And Adrian Dynamite Sloan, he made his first million in his 20s. Okay. In his 20s, he made his first million. And and have multiple businesses. And there's no one that can be, more better to reach these children than people who have been where they are, can speak the same language, but have went further, right? And are still welcome in their community where they can give back. The children will listen to, these kind of people, right? So that's what we welcome you to. We welcome you to, and you know what? Let me put it at here. I should have had that banner going. I apologize. Here it is. Okay. So as you can see down there, at the bottom, and I'm going to read this for those who are on the Zoom for the Extreme FX Young Guns, and this is for look, parents, come out, because Mondays is more of an overview of what our program is about. So you and your children, okay? The Extreme FX Young Guns Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program, Monday and Wednesday. So of course today at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And what you want to do is go to newmembers.org. And the password is ICON in all caps. That's newmembers.org. And the password is ICON, ICON, in all caps. So come over. You're going to hear all about the Young Guns program. Make sure that your children are listening in as well with you, because if you're anything that you're experiencing right now, look, you might be okay financially. This is not just for the dire straits, right? You may be okay financially, but feel like, you want to do something more or better, or that you just want to put your children in the program. hey, come hear what it's all about. Newmembers.org, password icon in all caps. You want to close us out, Coach Cotton?
Yes, you said it all. There's not much for me to even add. You guys run over to the Young Guns webinar that Zoom is starting in like 3 minutes. Thank you all. I want to say that thank you for everybody who's joined and contributing and took the time out to support the Coach Corner. And as we continue to grow in this environment, this new platform, the whole purpose is the whole purpose is the whole purpose is to help of lives. So this is what Coach Corner tries to do. To touch all the things. It's so funny. So why church they realize I was talking to them about
With